Dear 10th class students, today I have come up with another lesson in geography, that is the people. So it is also one of the important lessons in geography. This lesson mainly consists of the census, when census will be taken, who will organize census, then what is meant by age structure, what about sex ratio, how working population is classified, and what is meant by density of population. These are all the only questions that are there in this lesson. And this lesson is very, very important. Why? Because it is related to the population of our country. Before I go into the topic, let us discuss the important one mark questions in this lesson. The first is, which country has the highest population in the world? China has the highest population in the world, which is the second highest populated country in the world. India is the second highest populated country in the world. These two are very, very important for you. Then, what is census? Census is nothing but a systematic recording of the information of the population. So getting the information and recording the information of the population numbers is called as census. When census will be taken? Census will be taken every 10 years once. Who will organize taking the census? The Registrar General and the Census Commission will organize taking the census. When the first census took place in our country, the first census was taken in the year 1872. When the first real census has been taken, the real census has been taken in the year 1882. So far, as per the 2011 census, what is the population of our country? As per 2011 census, the population of our country is more than 121 crores. So out of these 121 crores, nearly 62 crores are men and approximately around 59 crores are women. What is age structure? Age structure is nothing but the discrimination of men and women in the total population based on age. Then what is sex ratio? Number of female persons available for every 1,000 males is known as sex ratio. Then the another important aspect as far as sex ratio is concerned, which state has positive sex ratio? Kerala has the positive sex ratio, where the number of females available are more than the males. So what is density of population? Number of persons available in 1 square kilometer area is called as density of population. Which state has the highest population density? West Bengal has the highest population density. Which state has the least population density? Arunachal Pradesh has the least population density. So these are the important one mark questions that may be asked in the examination. So you should know what is census, who is responsible to take the census, when census will be taken, at first when the census was taken, when the complete or real census has been taken, when the next census will take place. The next census will take place during 2021. So every 10 years one census will be taken. So after 2011, the next census will be 2021. See, by mixing any one of these questions related to census, a question can be asked even for 2 marks. Coming to the lesson, people. People is nothing but population. Can we say, is population a resource? There are 2 different arguments regarding this. Some people say that population is a resource. Why? Because more and more number of people in a country definitely will be a resource, because they will be getting employment opportunities and they will be working and they will become earning members, and with that gross domestic product will be increased. So that is one opinion. The other opinion is, so depending upon the availability of the resources of a family, it is better to have the limited population based on the resources. If resources are more, even if population is more, nothing will happen. If the resources are less and if population is more, then we may face difficulties. So these are the 2 different opinions given by different people. Population at times can be considered as a resource. At times it may not be considered, depending upon the standard of living of the people. Why? Because standard of living of the people as well as per capita income of the people will be affected mainly depending upon the population. Then age structure. This may be asked for 2 marks. What is the meaning of age structure? Age structure is nothing but, in the population census, we find a discrimination of the population based on males and females relating to different ages. So depending upon the age, we find a discrimination between male and female. We call it as age structure. This population has been divided into 3 types, or we can say age structure is classified into 3 types. One is children below the age of 15 years up to the age of 15 years. Second, working population from 15 to 59 years. And then aged persons above 59 years. Coming to children, those people who are below 15 years of age, they are all considered as children. See, generally children are dependent on their parents. It is the duty of the parents to look after their children. So with regard to survival, by providing them good food and providing them very good health facilities and providing them education. Up to the age of 15 years, a child is always dependent on the parents. So that is child. Whereas in our country, just now I told you that there are certain sections of the children who are working outside to run their families, maybe due to different reasons. Their parents may not be in a position to earn properly, or whatever they earn, it may not be sufficient to run the family, or more and more number of family members will be there in that particular family. So nowadays we are seeing that many children are working outside as child laborers. So it is the duty of the government to see that child labor should not be there. Second is working age, 15 years to 59. So during this period, the people will be involved in productive activities. Maybe in agriculture, or maybe in industrial sector, or maybe in service sector. See, some people will be working in organized sector and some people will be working in unorganized sector. So people belonging to 15 to 59 years, they will be considered as working population. Those people who will be working outside of their houses to earn money. Even within the house also you can earn money. So working population, the definition of working population generally is those people who will work outside to earn money. They are called as working population. So people will be working both in organized sector and unorganized sector. So already I have told you regarding organized and unorganized sector. Organized sector refers to large scale agricultural and industrial undertakings where there will be a definite pattern of production and employment. Only 8% of the working population is engaged in this sector. Unorganized sector, where household based, small scale and other institutions where there will not be any fixed pattern of production and employment. 92% of the working population is engaged in unorganized sector. So coming to the aged, above 59 years. So among the aged persons, those who worked in the government offices, those who did government jobs, they will be getting pension. So with that pension, they need not depend on anyone. They will lead their life. They will not become burden to either their sons or any other one. Then, as far as the people who are working in unorganized sector, they may not be getting pension. They may not be in a position to do any sort of work after 59 years. Physically, they don't have that much energy to do any work. Such a type of people, they have to depend on their children. So aged people. So unorganized sector, different people working in different occupations will be coming under this aged. So aged people other than organized sector, they may depend on their children in the old age. So this is the age structure. Coming to the sex ratio, very important for your examination. What is sex ratio? Sex ratio is nothing but number of females available for every 1,000 males. If you look at the ratio in our country, the availability of females is going on decreasing. So due to various reasons, it is happening. Now, if you take in our country, Since from childhood, the parents show a lot of discrimination between a boy and a girl. When she grows up, and even during marriage, even after becoming a widow, we find a lot of discriminations. So girls are mainly dominated. So a lot of people show domination on the girls. So parents nowadays, they don't show to have a female child in their family. If at all there is a female child, we find lot of discrimination with regard to their providing food, health, education, development, and sending for jobs also. So because of this, we find a lot of discrimination in the availability of females. In addition to that, the illiterate people may not be in a position to send their children, female children, to schools to continue their education. So that is also one of the reasons why female population is going on decreasing. So a lot of discrimination is going on. Some parents feel that female child is a burden to the family. So because of this also, we find a lot of discrimination between males and females. So there is negative sex ratio. But in certain areas, we find a positive sex ratio. Only in few regions like Kerala, where we find a lot of literacy rate. So there we find positive rates where females are available more than the males. Similarly, the discrimination between males and females is also less, even Himachal Pradesh also. Why? Because Himachali women are giving importance for their female children to get education, and they are sending their children for jobs even after marriage also. So that's how sex ratio is being maintained in our country. Except one or two states, almost all the other states, we find there is a negative sex ratio. Positive sex ratio is mainly seen in Kerala. So that's our sex ratio. Coming to literacy rate, a person who knows reading and writing of a language or languages is called as illiterate. Literacy increases productivity. A person who has education definitely will get a job, and one way or the other way he will be in a position to earn. So literacy increases productivity. So how we calculate literacy rate? Literacy rate is calculated like this: total number of literates by population above the age of 7 years multiplied by 100, we are going to get a literacy rate. If you take the population of our country, and if you see the literacy rate of our country, as per 2011 census, the literacy rate of our country is 74%. The male literacy during 2011 census is 82% approximately, whereas the female literacy is around 65%. If you take 2001 census, the national literacy rate is 64% only. And if you take the literacy rate at the stroke of independence, it is hardly 12 to 14%. So we have to give importance for increasing literacy rate. So government is taking necessary steps to improve the enrollment in the schools and providing, as far as Andhra Pradesh state government is concerned, Ammavadi is being introduced by Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy's government to make the parents to send their children to schools. So that's about literacy. Then coming to the working age, how this working age is being classified. See, working age refers to 15 years to 59 years. So in this working age, other than the people who are working in organized sector, the working age is divided mainly into 4 categories. Mainly into 4 categories. The first one is cultivators and farmers. Second one is agricultural laborers. The third one is household workers in industries. Then the fourth one is others. So farmers, second one is agricultural laborers, third one household workers involved in any small scale industries, and then others. In the others, generally we see all the casual laborers working in the factory are doing small trade and other businesses. So that's how working population in unorganized sector has been classified into 4 categories. And last part of this lesson is density of population. Density of population means number of persons available or living in 1 square kilometer area is called as density of population. Number of persons living in 1 square kilometer area is called as density of population. See, where we find high density of population. High density of population can be seen in those areas which are well developed in primary sector, secondary sector, and service sector. Where we don't have developments, automatically the density of population will be low. Generally, the areas where you have less developments in all these 3 sectors, then where the climatic conditions are not favorable for the people to go and settle there, then hilly areas, then the fertility of the soil is also if not good, hilly terrains, forest areas. So in all these areas, we find less density of population. As far as India is concerned, highest density of population is seen in West Bengal, more than 904 persons per square kilometer. Why this much of density of population is there in West Bengal? Because West Bengal is well developed in these 3 key sectors. Due to availability of Ganga waters, agriculture is well developed, industry is also well developed, and this area is well connected with roadways, railways, airways, and even waterways also. And all the other financial institutions are also available. So density of population is very high in West Bengal. Then the least density of population is seen in Arunachal Pradesh, hardly 13 to 17 persons per square kilometer. So why? Because Arunachal Pradesh is situated in the northeastern part of our country, which is covered with thick forest areas, and the climatic conditions are also not suitable for the people to settle their life. Fertility of the soil is also not good, and due to varied climatic conditions. So because of these reasons, very low density of population is seen in Arunachal Pradesh. So dear students, this lesson is very, very important. Once again, I am telling you that sex ratio is very, very important. age structure is also equally important, and population density is very, very, very important. So listen to this video and concentrate well, subscribe, share to your friends, and see that they will also be benefited. So this, because of this corona pandemic, don't go anywhere, stay home, stay safe, and learn thoroughly. Thank you.